How did you train them? How did you raise them? What are you talking about? Let me go here. Genesis 18:17. And the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. Verse 19 is my focus. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him. And they shall keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he's spoken of him. And the Lord said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which has come up unto me, and if not, I will know. And the men turned their faces from thence and went towards Sodom. But Abraham, knowing how wicked it was, stood yet before the Lord. And Abraham drew near and said, wilt thou destroy the righteous with the wicked? Perhaps there be 50 righteous in the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked. And that the righteous should be as the wicked that be far from thee. Shall not the judge of the earth do right? And the Lord said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, not people that go to church, 50 righteous. Not those who show up on Sunday and fake and shake the righteous. Then will I spare the place for their sakes. And Abraham answered, knowing the condition. Behold, now I've taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which am but dust and ashes. Peradventure there lack 5 of 50 righteous. Will you destroy all the city for the lack of 5? And he said, if I find there 40 and 5, I will not destroy it. And he spake to him yet again and said, excuse me, I'm sorry. Would if there be 5 less, would you spare on the behalf of 40? And he said unto him, oh, let not the Lord be angry, I will speak. How about 30? And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 righteous folk. And he said, behold, now I've taken upon me to speak unto the Lord. How about 20? And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, oh, let not the Lord be angry. Can I speak one more time? How about 10? And he said, I will not destroy it for the sake of 10. And the Lord went his way, and as soon as he had left communion with Abraham, and Abraham returned unto his place. Chapter 19. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor.
Neighbor.
Are you righteous?
Are you righteous?
I want to know, are you in right standing with God?
You know, in right standing with God?
I want to know, are we in right standing? And look back at him and say, I didn't ask you, did you go to church?
I didn't ask you if you go to church.
I didn't ask you what church do you belong to.
I didn't ask you what church you belong to.
I'm not asking you how many times you go to church in 1 week.
I didn't ask you how many times you go to church.
My question to you.
My question to you.
Are you part of the remnant?
Part of the remnant.
Are you the righteous? Are you part of the reason that God has not destroyed the United? Are we part of the reason that God is still keeping a hedge about your family? Are you righteous? Amen. Do you have favor with God? Are you of the remnant? And there came two angels to visit Sodom. And Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot seeing them rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself to his face toward the ground. And he said, behold, now my lords, turn into your servant's house and tarry all night. Wash your feet, rest yourselves. They said, no, but we will abide in the streets all night. Judgment was sent. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned unto him, verse 3, and into his house, and he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, surrounded the house, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they called out unto Lot and said, where are those men that came to you tonight? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. They were deeply rooted in homosexuality. What they were truly saying was, bring us the men, that we can sleep with them. And Lot went out at the door unto them and shut the door after him and said, I pray you, brethren, do not do so wickedly. Behold, now I have two daughters, which never knew a man. Use one of them. Only to these do nothing, for therefore came they under the roof of under the shadow of my roof. And the angel said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came into sojourn. The men are angry now, and he wants to be our judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them? Talking to Lot. And they pressed, talking about the homosexuals. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house and shut the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves even to find the door. And the men said unto Lot, the angels are talking now, who's here besides you? Do you have any son-in-law, sons, thy daughters, whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. I use for a son to come today, whatsoever you have, bring it out of this place. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I don't care what you've invested.
I don't care what you invested.
I don't care what you've been daydreaming about.
I don't care what you invested.
Whatever you have, bring it out of this place. This is a wicked place. America looks just like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yes, it does.
America looks so much like Sodom and Gomorrah. We are pressing, we are prancing, we are dancing, we are doing wickedly in the sight of God. And you don't understand that God hates sin. Sit it down your road. God hates sin. All of us have people in our family. All of us have those who've been touched by different things. My God, sin is holding them. But ask your neighbor, do you love your family enough to bring them out of this place? Are you in the right place with God to bring them out of this place? Do you love yourself to say the answer out loud. Because not too many of you wanted your child to be something spiritual.
I do.
He said, we are commanding, and he said, speak to my children, speak to the families, grab your children. I want you to know, we push our children. My God, we want them to be the next NBA. We want them to come out here. We want them to be in football. But I have you to understand, only 2% make it. We push our children and push our children. We want them in dance, knowing that they're going to teach them every dance there is. You are not commanding your children in the way of the Lord. Oh, you can look crazy if you want to. You're pushing your children. They're being broken up by football. They're being broken up by basketball. My God, some of you didn't love your children enough to have them here today. How can you see what's going on in the news and not tell and not leave them home asleep? How dare you to see what's happening in this earth and you leave your children in bed because they don't feel like coming? I command them in the way of soccer. I command them in the way of track. There's nothing wrong with that. But let me tell you this. You can command them in the way of that. But God said to tell you, and it makes no sense to me, but I'm going to say what he said. He said, you don't understand. We're trying to push our children. We fight about slavery, but you don't even understand these areas you're pushing your children. It's modern slavery. They own your son. Don't you know they got to sign a contract? It is called slavery. Look at your neighbor and ask him, do you have your answer yet?
Do you have your answer yet?
What do you want your child to be? The next what? See, when I came up, if you came up in the right Christian house, I wasn't that person that just said, I'm not going to raise my kids the way I was raised. The devil is a liar. My kids were being raised in church.
I know that's right.
You were there. I don't care if you had your homework. You were in church. See, you are a different generation.
Right, Pastor.
We didn't have a choice. There was no choice. Did you feel like?
They sure wasn't no choice.
I don't care if you woke up 7. I don't care if you woke up 4 a.m. It did not matter. We had church every day, and you were sitting your sleeping self up in church.
Every day.
I wish I had somebody who act like they know what I'm talking about.
You sure did.
Look at your neighbor and say, there's no such thing as choice.
There's no such thing as choice.
We see the choice. What? Do you feel like what? Revival. Oh, but I got a test. And? What did the test mean? I need it. Oh, we wanted to say, you know what, Mom? Y'all just go ahead. That's why the world is in the condition that it's in because we left our children
to themselves.
We left our children to the world for the world to raise them and for the world to shape them. I'm not saying that you can't let them get involved with extracurricular activities, but make sure you don't treat church like it's an extracurricular.
I know that's right.
Make sure you don't treat church like it's an option.
Right.
Like that's what's extra. We have 168 hours in a week. We have about 2 hours on Wednesday night. Out of those 168 hours. We have about 4 or 5 hours if you get here. That's 90% of you not. If you get here for the 9:30. Amen. So this would be a total of, out of 168 hours, 7 hours in a week to give to God. And for some of you, I'm talking church, I ain't talking about the world. Amen. Some of you, you don't have time to give God 7 hours. You come in late and you leave early. That happens nowhere but in church. You ain't running in the movies late.
Sure ain't.
And leaving early.
You ain't going to court late.
You definitely ain't going to the airport late.
You sure ain't.
Oh, you leaving early with your bags. You ain't going to the basketball game late. You ain't going to the, and some of y'all so trifling, you go to your jobs late. But you're going to leave early because they're going to give you that slip in a minute. But when it comes to I said, God, what should I talk about? God said, you don't go in there bashing. This ain't no black and white thing. What you don't understand, it is a disease called sin. Sin is running rampant and hatred is real. It doesn't have to be an officer. It can be anybody riding by you with hatred and kill you.
That's it, Pastor. That's it, Pastor.
Keep the music, might make it feel better. America is in trouble. My daughter, those of you who study black history, you would correct us. As we are always told, and the books would tell us, that America was a Christian country and was founded on Christian principles. If it were so, there would have been no slaves. Due to government propaganda, they shape the way we think and believe. It is spiritual wickedness. It's not the ones you see in the office, those ones hidden in the penthouse. It is the spiritual wickedness in high places. That's where the demon of hatred sits. And he passed. It doesn't matter who gets in the White House. It is still the demons that sit, the spiritual wickedness in high places. And we thought Obama was going to make a difference. Listen, because of spiritual wickedness in high places, his hands are tied. Look at your neighbor. Said, I command you.
I command you
to bring your family out.
To bring your family out.
I command you to bring your mind out. We become so worldly minded. We are introducing our children to things they don't need to be introduced to ahead of time. I'm sorry. We introduce them. They live in our house. They live under our roofs. No, you don't play any kind of music in my house. Oh, I feel King Burnett. You don't play any kind of music in my house under my roof. As a matter of fact, take them speakers out your ears. I need to know what you're listening to. I need to know that is not a rap player trying to tell you to go kill your mama. I need to hear what you are hearing.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Y'all don't even know these rap, whatever. That's messes. Crazy. What y'all listen to riding down the street. My God, but they'll tell you to kill. They'll tell you to murder. They'll tell you, yes, they'll tell you to cuss every female out and call her B instead of her name. Yet they're telling their sons to go to college. They're telling their sons to get a degree. And our children are falling into it. I got a lot to say.
Say it, brother.
No wonder, and I don't know how y'all gonna take this, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
It's all right.
My father had a fear. He said, Karen, there's something about you. I'm so afraid for you. He said, I'm afraid you're gonna get in somebody's pulpit and they're gonna throw you out because you're so bold with the truth. I ain't changed then and I ain't changed now. I'm not going to change. I want to say this, and those of you, I'm telling you, because our black people, our black families, just not black, just minorities, because we are targeted, it's time. Listen, I got grown son. This joker right here about to be sworn in to be a police officer. He's a Marine. My other son is a Marine. But if they walk in my house without a belt, now he is married to a beautiful woman. But if he walked in my house right now without a belt, I say, Carl, where's your belt? As I told my music section, y'all need to change.
Amen, Pastor. Amen.
Y'all need to put some clothes on.
Amen. Amen.
You listen, we let our children, kudos to you parents that told, who in here beside me make sure your children have pants on, belts? Look around this room.
When you go back, go get it.
I said that to the kids.
I don't care about, see, y'all don't even know where that fad comes from. That fad. With men wearing their pants.
Come on.
Down here, do you know what that's about?
Yeah.
I run into guys who can't even hardly walk. White and black walking. I said, they got to run. What they gonna do? First you gotta reach down and squat. You know, words for 3 seconds. That comes from the prison. Wearing your pants so your behind is out, your duty chute is out. It's for homosexuals so that gay can run up in you while you think it's cute. Amen. Raw enough?
That's it. It sure is.
And I can get rawer than that. But I know where to stop. We let our young men, young boys, toddlers, walk around like a little thug. If I was a different color, I'd be scared of you too. Now, we already intimidate them.
Yes, we do.
Why are you going to dress on top of it in a way of intimidation? Why are you going to walk the streets and look like a thug? I'm not saying those who were killed look like a thug. I'm asking you, why would you allow your children to go out of this house looking like a thug, your boys, and your girls looking like a thug?
Preach, Apostle, preach.
Anybody need explanation?
We know what it is.
Only person don't know who what I'm talking about is those of us who sanctified who don't hear that stuff. That hoe over there. Your color alone, and this is nothing but slavery. It's still a slave master's mentality. When they see my little grandson, my God, I got 2 coming in the fall. But where is Michael? Is he won't anywhere? Where is he? Where's Michael? Michael. Come here, Michael. Come here. Come here. Send your son up here. Come here, man. Come here. All little boys, come up here and stand next to me right now.
Go ahead, sweetie.
Come on, little boys. Look how he walked. He just walked commanding something. Just God-given. When the spirit of hatred gets on anybody, when they look at these little cute, innocent young men, they don't see a 4-year-old. They see a warrior. They see a prince. when they look at these young men, they don't see, that's my Pookie up there. Some of y'all just so proud. Take a picture. That's my Pookie up there. That's my baby up there. But your baby is living in an evil world. And an evil spirit is loose. And I thank God every one of them don't look thuggish.
I know that's
Give
right.
God some praise.
Yeah. Good job,
There's no
bro.
reason to snap earrings in their ear. Y'all ain't gonna like me. I don't even care. There's no reason to put Timberlands on them in the summertime. They need sandals.
Yeah.
There's no reason to allow them to be exposed to this spirit of violence that is running rampant. Go on, clap your hands for these young men. But I want y'all to know, to us they're innocent. To an evil spirit, the enemy wants to cut off the seed carriers.
Yes, they do.
Go back to slavery. The mindset. Let's look at the tallest ones. Let's look at the strongest ones. Let's separate them from their family.
Yup.
And let's break them. God said, Karen, it's the same thing when we look at these national leagues. They're looking for the best. They're looking for the tallest. They're looking for the strongest. And they exploit them. This is nothing but modern slavery. And we're pushing our children. Be that. But how many are pushing your children in the way of the Lord?
Amen. Amen.
How many make that declaration? When I have mine, I'm going to raise mine up in the way of the Lord. Mine might not have loved. They may not have cared for wanting to go to church. They may not have cared for staying out late. But I wouldn't change. If I had to do it all over again, I'll be more strict.
Amen. I know that's right.
I don't hear the music. God said to prepare you. God said to talk to you. Grab a hold to your children. I commend those of you who are pushing them in the way of education. I commend you. Push them. Make a difference. Push them. Don't be so bent on, because then you're going to make them feel if they don't make the pros, then they're less than anything. No. Push them. Get into the courtroom. Come on here. Get on the bench. Come on. Get in a uniform. Get in your community. Get in your classrooms and teach. Let's affect change.
Thank you, Lord.
I'm going to read this. And I'm not here to impress you. Because you know I can squall it up anytime I want. I can tune it up anytime I want. This is a season. Tuning ain't going to help you.
It sure ain't.
All you want is to come to church. Pastor, we got to get that dancing. Some of you still wait. We ain't had church. If we don't hear Bishop tell us it's Sunday live, you ought to know when you woke up in the morning, it was Sunday live. And my foot hit the down, it was
Sunday live.